the way you have elaborated that, how you, at the level of KG, you have started with Humpty Dumpty, and now the project
Yes.
scenario has changed. Exactly, this is the need or the want of the hour, which I feel. So let's switch to the questions.
Yes,
Are you ready
sure.
now? Yeah.
Yes.
So the very first question is, how do emotional stability and emotional maturity be integrated within the framework of curriculum?
Yes, so this is a very important question because emotional stability and emotional maturity is something which we see in children we see signs of that very soon these days. Children mature much earlier than what probably you or me matured emotionally. And they actually are very mature, they do understand, but then, children today want reason. So it is very, very important to have sessions with them, to allow them to speak up at least every day. So we in Pramati have something called circle time, quality circle time, which we sit and engage in. And I think it also needs to be incorporated into the curriculum. Instead of taking chapters from the textbook and reading it out, you can create your own story based on what you have experienced with children, and that can become a chapter. You can bring in scenarios. So, in fact, one of the projects that I had done with children was for 13 years and 14-year-old was role play of partners. Two people who are going to live together for the rest of their life. I had asked them to role play. Now, people might ask me, why did you do that at the age of 14, 15? I think it's important that we do it. Because most of the time in today's world, if you see so many divorces, so many heartbreaks, so many walkaways, it's happening because, we don't know how to handle situations. We give up so easily. So
Yes.
it's important that they understand how you have to live with another person. So that is something that is very, very important. So give more opportunities for children to express themselves, give more opportunities for learners to talk about their problems, give more opportunities, be there for them. It's not, school is not a place, education is not about completing lessons, completing the syllabus and moving on. It is about giving a space where children can freely express, adults can freely express. We also have so many problems. We can also freely talk to them about our problems. I feel many times children are so mature, they fix our problems so easily.
True. So this was really something which you have portrayed for them. You have asked them to portray themselves, isn't it? So,
Yes.
and this is called experiential learning.
Yeah, and when they did that, we also came to know about the problems they are facing at home. So there was one child who talked about fights that happen at home between the mother and the father. So that was interesting because we realized why the child was sad on most of the days, because every day there was a fight. So then we had an opportunity to talk to the child about it and help him how much ever we could.
Instead of asking straight, you got the entire picture in front of you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's come to the next question. How can we train people to take up projects free of emotions?
Okay, so I have a little bit of a problem with this question itself. So I would ask a question again. Why would I take up a project free of emotions? I think emotions is part of everything that we do. What we eat is also emotional. What we do every day, what we wear is also full of emotions. So today, when I'm cooking, I'm cooking something which is emotional to me. I don't cook the same thing every day. Why do I keep changing the dish that I'm making? Because it is an emotional connect. Why do I wear certain clothes? I prefer wearing Indian clothes because I'm connected to it. I have an emotional connection to it. So I really feel that projects can have emotions tied to them. But what we need to do is we need to clearly draw a line that it cannot become a battle where you are actually fighting something against some other person's emotions. So if we are talking, so I'll give you a very simple example. So when we're talking about, we were doing a general bonding session when we were having our online classes, and we spoke about Hanuman, and the story was about Hanuman chasing the sun, thinking it's a ball. So one of the children said, Hanuman. So when the adult asked the children what they thought about the story, one of the child said Hanuman was a fool and he was stupid to chase a sun as an orange. So there was another child who was a Iyengar, came from the Iyengar community, and he felt very upset. The mother wrote to me saying that I do not want my child to get upset. Why did you talk about Hanuman? He's very upset. So I told her that he needs to learn how to deal with these situations. We can't shy away. We can't not talk about religion. Not talking about religion is not secularism. Shying away from religion is not secularism. So presenting these and being able to control our emotions, being able to manage, not control, but manage our emotions in order to not hurt the others, to respect differences is what is very important.
Yes. So it is really better to manage our emotions instead of getting free of it. And
yes.
A person without emotions is not a person at all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you for this answer and elaborating it in such a way that now emotion has become something very, very sensible for people, those who are listening, and they can understand why emotion is a need. And
yes.
in this pandemic time, we are really connected with people through emotions only, no other way.
Absolutely.
So our next question is how to deal with children who are sensitive to trivial issues in the classroom.
Yeah. So again, give them the opportunity to open up. Give them the opportunity to actually tell them, to ask them what is actually disturbing them. Have time with them, talk to them what is disturbing them, and then try to make them understand that at the end of the day, that was actually not a big deal. So you can give examples, you can tell stories. So stories are one very important way of connecting with children. So if you see that there's a particular child who's very sensitive towards trivial issues, then you can make stories around it and then share it during circle time or during time when you are actually sitting and engaging with children. But for this, you need to find that time to sit with children. We are all so bogged down with completing syllabus that we really don't have time to sit with the children and talk. So that is very important. So if you are a teacher, you must ensure that at least one day in a week, you keep some time to sit and chat with your children, talk to your children.
Yes. Giving time is the best key to
absolutely
get connected with them.
See, and if the children have confidence in you, trust you, then everything, the entire process becomes very simple.
Yes, absolutely. How to build the EQ in teachers?
See, I think if you don't, all of us have EQ, but we don't realize, and there's like how our IQs are different, our EQs are also different. Now, I really feel that EQ is something that develops over time when the teachers come in and you are able to have a good process where you are modeling behavior, where you are talking to them about situation. Again, the heads of schools must have enough time for the teachers. It should not be that you are giving them lesson plans and their job is only to carry out those lessons. Even they have emotional issues. Even they have sensitive people. So it is important to give them time, and if you show that you have an emotional quotient towards them, they will automatically have emotional quotient towards the children. So in our school, that's what we do. We have a lot of fun. There is no, the principal or the director is not the principal or the director in terms of being authoritative, but spending a lot of time with the teachers, giving them a very homely environment, and at the same time telling them that you trust them and ensuring that they do their work for the benefit of children. And then you will see that the EQ is automatically getting built.
Yes. So this is just a reciprocal process of give and take. The way you will give, the manner you will get back. So yes, if the authorities are dealing with them in an emotional manner, definitely they'll get back in that manner.
Absolutely.
So are we really making our students mechanical entities?
We are making everybody mechanical entities, not just students. Teachers are mechanical entities. Parents are mechanical entities today. Children are obviously becoming mechanical entities. So today you have lesson plans that are uploaded in every site. You have ready lesson plans that are given. All the teacher needs to do is take that lesson plan and teach. So where is the thought? Where is the idea of the teacher? Where is the ownership that is coming in? Students, everything is available online. You don't have to do anything. The student asks for something. There's a process for everything. And at the end of the day, the student stops thinking. The teachers stop thinking. Parents have classes, how to parent their children. There's nothing which is natural. There's nothing which is happening spontaneously, right? Everything is packaged. Everything is boxed. For every problem, there's a solution. There is no problem for which we need to find a solution. Everything is there. All we need to do is read up or buy it and use it. So we have made a mechanical society. So we really need not talk about making students mechanical entities. We have created a mechanical society, and this probably COVID is going to put the COVID situation is going to add something to our lives in a positive way. We are going to get back to our grassroots, hopefully. Or I'm not sure if everything is going to get back to square one, but I'm just hoping.
Yeah. So with these questions, I would like to thank you, ma'am, for giving us such insightful answers and elaborating the project-based learning in such a big way, how we teachers can take it forward. So thank you for being with us. And
thank you very much. Namaste to everybody.